I'm Andy Jordan with the Wall Street Journal. I'm here in San Francisco in front of the Yerba Buena Center with Dan Gallagher, a tech editor at MarketWatch. And you were actually inside today. And what is the take home? This is basically the same thing as the iPad 2, only faster and looks better.
It does. It was pretty much as expected. This is they kept really a similar form factor to the iPad 2, about the same thickness, maybe a touch heavier in the weight, but it's got a faster processor, much higher resolution screen and display. They say they've been able to keep the battery performance the same. So pretty much as expected, what people were expecting out of this event.
And the large take home that a lot of people want to know is when it's going to be coming out and how much will it cost?
They said it's going to be available on March 16th. It will go on sale. Pre-orders start today. The price will be the same as the iPad 2 at the starting price of $499 for the 16-gigabyte version. And they also brought down the price of the iPad 2. They're going to keep that on the market and start that at $399.
Well, let's talk about speed. So it's going to be available on the LTE networks, the 4G LTE faster speed, and I think they demonstrated inside like videos without buffering and did a good job of showing what that's going to mean.
They did, and one of the more interesting demos is they actually open an email. You know how sometimes you get emails with a lot of photos attached to it. Probably in your line of work you get a lot of them. Well, they showed two different, a 3G and a 4G iPad together with the same photos, and on the 4G, several photos came up before even the first photo came up on the 3G, which was a good demonstration of how fast the technology is. Of course, people can still buy a Wi-Fi only version of the newest iPad, so just like currently you can go without that 4G connectivity. And one caveat is that when you're using 4G, it's going to eat up the battery a little faster. They said it'll be 9 hours under 4G compared to 10.
So we're talking, with the way it looks, 1 million more pixels is what they said. So this Retina display, tell me a little bit about how the HD part of this is going to look.
Well, it's going to look pretty incredible on that size of screen. They put out the Retina display first for the iPhone 4 a couple years ago. Of course, engineering-wise, it was a little easier to get that into such a smaller screen than a big screen. But it's gonna play full high-definition videos when it comes out, so it'll look pretty amazing. Retina display is Apple's patented technology for display technology. So we'll have to, and of course, we'll have to see how it actually works when we get our hands on it.
And so one thing that we've been looking at is whether or not Apple they're moving more towards a consumer-facing brand away from enterprise. But Phil Schiller in there said, don't let anybody tell you that you can't create on the iPad. iPhoto is not going to be on the iPad. What other things did they announce in there that leads us more towards iPad as a creative device?
Well, the big theme they're trying to place on is this post-PC era that Tim Cook talks about a lot. It's clear they're trying to position the iPad as not just a great consumer device for media consumption and internet usage, but as a possible PC replacement or maybe a laptop replacement idea. So the more capabilities they pack onto the device, the better the chip, the more realistic it becomes for those kinds of scenarios. So if you're somebody that likes to edit a lot of photos, the previous iPad versions probably weren't great for that. Now they bring that into it, and it adds to the use case for the device.
And this is not going to be called the iPad HD or the iPad 3, right? It has no name, really.
It's called the new iPad, according to their release. Makes it a little tricky for us in the news business to try to designate between the two, but according to Apple, it's just the new iPad.
All right, Dan Gallagher with MarketWatch, thanks so much. I'm Andy Jordan in San Francisco for the Wall Street Journal.